Hello everyone, this is my Volkswagen ID.3 First Edition Plus, and 3 weeks ago I got the 3.2 update at the Volkswagen dealer, and I want to talk about how was the whole service, and did it fix my problems, because I had 3 software problems with this car, and let's go through it if it's fixed. By the way, if you're ordering an ID.3, 4 or 5 and before the ordering process you use the referral link that I have in the description below, we both get 200 euros charging credit. So how was the whole update experience? It was very interesting. A few things were amazing, a few things were weird, and a few things were really bad. First of all, I wasn't invited to get the 3.2 update. I found a viewer sent me a link from Australian Volkswagen website where you can put in your VIN, and then it tells you if there are service things that Volkswagen can do on the car or has to do on the car. And there was the battery check, if the battery is all fine, which was a problem a few months ago, that some batteries had one faulty module where the discharging didn't work the way it should be, and then those modules has to be changed. So there was this battery check, and there was the over-the-air update 3.2 that Volkswagen cancelled and said you're gonna get this at the dealer because it just works better. And like I said, nobody contacted me. I found out that this is available for my car, so I contacted them. Hey, would you do that? Is this in your... Can you do that? And they said yes, and they invited me, and they said in the email, if you want the battery to be checked, that we will be doing, it would be best if you would come with a battery state of charge of around 20 to 25%, because if they have to change a module, it's better for balancing. So I drove the car down because idiot me, I had a press car at that time, and the car was at 80% or 70 something, so I had to drive it down the day before to under the 25%, and I delivered it with 18%. And another thing was, they asked me, do you need a rental car? When you get this car, you can have a free rental car, so loaner from Volkswagen. And I said, yes, I would like that if it is electric, not if it's not electric. And they wrote me back, you can have an ID.3, we reserved that car. If you come the day before in the evening, you can already have it, and you have it until your car is done, and then you just bring it back. And I said, that's perfect, wonderful. So on that Monday, so the day before the service was planned, I called. I want to be sure, hey, is my ID.3, the ID.3 what you said, is it really reserved? Will I get an electric loaner? I called. The person that I was in contact with was on holiday, so someone else said, I don't know, can you please call back? There's someone else who might know that. So I called back, and that person said then the funniest thing, I don't know, but if you say so, it must be reserved. So he couldn't look if it was reserved, he just said that. So okay, I drove there, I brought the car to the workshop, like I said, with 18%, a bit lower, but at least it wasn't 26 or something, so it was as they recommended, it was fine, 18%. And I had to go to the salespeople for the loaner. I went there, hey, loaner ID.3, they said, okay, they looked around, I didn't see an ID.3, we don't have an ID.3, and I, okay, why did I call? Why was it reserved? Oh, he forgot to reserve. And then they came with a key to a Golf, and I was, huh? And then he saw my look and went back, didn't even say anything. And then they had an ID.4 GTX there, so it worked out well, but I was just a bit disappointed that the reservation process that they told me was done didn't work. But it's fine, I got a loaner electric car and drove home. Everything's fine. And then how did the whole process work? Like I said, I brought the car there on Monday evening. Tuesday morning I saw the car was at the position, nothing was done. A few hours later, see that with the app, I saw that the car was moved, that the door was open, and the hood was open. And I saw that the state of charge was depleting. So it was 18% when I arrived, and I saw it going down over the day, 17, 16, 15 and so on. In the evening on that day, it was still online, the car, so it wasn't turned off or it wasn't updating. Usually when you get an update on ID cars, it's not online, it says nothing, but it said you just have restricted access. And this happens when someone else is using the car. So when you not have your profile active, it's a guest profile or someone different. And I thought, okay, they put it on guest, so they're doing something, but I don't know if they're updating. And then it stayed that way for the day later, and then even another day later. So I don't know how long this update took, but I think what I've heard, the battery check just takes an hour, and the update process of the software takes 7 hours or 8 hours. So I think the next day, on a Wednesday, the car was already done, but they still kept it. And I'm not saying they did something bad. It's just weird that it took another day where it seemed like nothing was happening. And on the Thursday then, where I should get the car in the evening, I drove by at around 10 a.m. and I saw the car parked outside. And then at 12 I called, is my car ready? Nobody said anything, and they didn't know. They will call me back. And then at 2 they called me back and said, yeah, the car is ready. And I went there and it was still parked at the same spot. So I don't know, I had the feeling that the car was done already the day before and parked outside, and they just kept it and didn't tell me. So I don't know if that's true. I'm not accusing anyone, but I'm also guessing that they can say the car is there for 3 days and they get paid by Volkswagen for 3 days. So I don't know. At least half the day on the Thursday was not necessary. The car was parked at the same position, and it's a busy parking, so if they would have cleaned it afterwards, it would have parked somewhere different. I just know that it's an extremely busy parking. So I don't know about that. But I picked up the car, I put it in my account, and it worked right away. Everything worked right away. I didn't have to reconnect to the car with the app. I didn't have to adjust any settings. Everything was there that it was there before. So it was a perfect update. I didn't have to do anything except for going from guest to my account and drive off. It was exactly the same from 3.0 to 3.2. I have more features now, more settings, but the settings that were there before, and also my trip data, was everything the same. Everything was perfect. The funny thing was, they gave me the car with 12% state of charge, and I had to drive home 30 kilometers. It was right after work, and I had the dogs with me. And it's 30 kilometers uphill, and so I drove home. Had to get home to a certain time. I had to do something, and so I didn't have time to charge, and I thought, if I drive normal, no hard acceleration, and in eco mode. It was also very hot. We needed the AC. I had to pre-cool the car, but I arrived with 2% and 5 kilometers of range at home. It worked. I could have charged and it would be fine, no stress, but I was a bit disappointed that I'm not expecting them to charge the car to 80% when I give it to them with 18%, but at least to the 18 again. I mean, they know where I live or whatever, but they just didn't care. It was a bit sad. But it's also not the biggest thing. If I would have, I wouldn't have never given them a car with 18% if I known that it's not necessary to be at 20 or 25%. The battery was fine, but nobody told me that, by the way, what the battery check said. Nobody told me anything. I went there to pick up the car, they gave me the key, and I gave them the key to the loaner, and they said bye. That's it. Nobody talked to me. Yes. So that's how the whole process was. But now to the most important things. Did 3.2 fix the problems that I had? I had 3 problems with this car. Number 1 was the climate since 3.0. 2.3, 2.4 was all perfect. The climate, sometimes when I started the car, the climate was not showing temperature. I couldn't get into the climate menu. I had to restart the system, infotainment system, so with long press on the on-off button. And then it reset it and everything was fine. Number 2 was the Android Auto, which the problem exists since the car is in existence. You connect the car with Android Auto and sometimes it just works, sometimes it doesn't connect. It doesn't matter if you disconnect the phone, if you use Wi-Fi, if you press please connect to Android Auto, it just doesn't work. And the third problem, which is important to me but not important to many people, is I drive in drive mode individual and I have my ACC in eco. So when I use adaptive cruise control, it doesn't accelerate hard, it doesn't slow down hard, it does it very comfortably. I like that. And since 3.0, when I get into the car, I can see in the drive mode individual is in, but the AAC to eco is not even there. It's not there at all. And when I unbuckle, when I was in drive, go into park, unbuckle, so I get the ending screen, the goodbye screen, and then start the car again, it's there. And it also feels like that. So when I'm driving in adaptive cruise control, I feel it, that it's not using eco, it's using comfort. So a bit more power, it's not as comfortably. And the thing is, did it fix those 3 things? Number 1, the climate. The first day after the next morning when I went into the car, climate wasn't there. I had to restart the system, so it didn't fix that. But since then, it didn't happen again. So it was 3 weeks, it only happened the next morning. So since then it's fine. Number 2, the Android Auto. It's way better with 3.2, and I noticed this with other ID cars as well. Android Auto works way better. You can restart the system if there is no connection, and then it works. With 3.0 that didn't do anything. And wirelessly also works way better. What I get, and this is also a problem with 3.2, when you have the phone connected, you get most of the times after driving a few minutes an error message, mobile phone disconnected, and then you have to click it and it goes away. This I know is fixed with 3.5. I drove an Id.3 facelift, video is here, with 3.5, and this error message is gone. So this is just a mistake in the software. This is not individual for every car. But the most important, did the drive mode thing, is that fixed? And the answer is no. It's the exact same thing. I get into the car and AAC is not there in the individual. That's very sad. I was so after a week or so, I thought I should just ask. And I wrote the dealer again and I said, hey, I have this problem since 3.0. Is there any fix for it? And I explained exactly what's happening. And then a few days later, I get the message, yes, there's a fix for it. You can come in and we will fix it for you. And I was like, what? There is? So in the middle of August, what is this? In 3-4 weeks on a Friday, I have an appointment. It needs a whole day. So from the morning to the evening, 7 to 4:30 in the afternoon, they will fix this problem. Let's see how that works. So subscribe so you don't miss it if it really works. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.